have to give this kingdom couple a proper introduction. I tell you, we have special guests, Roderick Rodgers, darling, and his wife, Judge Ramona Franklin-Rodgers. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing great.
We are fabulous, and we just want to say we are so honored again, Dr. Don, to allow us this opportunity to speak with you and your listeners. It's always a blessing to be in your presence, and I don't know if I could ever feel your stilettos, what have you, all of you, right? But just for you to even say that, I'm honored.
I sure don't want to fill in for you. So let me just say, I don't want your job. Yeah, I don't want that. I already told you. I tried to get out of jury. I got out of jury duty a few years ago because I was like, I told the judge, I cannot do this. I just will not be able to follow the law. I don't want somebody's life in my hands, but you all have convicted me. So if I get another jury summons, I'll do the right thing. But Roderick, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And as my wife said, Ramona said, thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak with you and the listeners. Yeah. We both are excited and just looking forward to the show.
Yeah. And you know what? Me and Ramona and I, we're going to talk about that later, Roderick, because when people know Ramona and Roderick's there, he's just so nice. He's like, let me let y'all talk. I got something else to do. But he's not insecure. He's so not insecure.
That's it, too.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that later. But let's kick it off with, how did you all meet? And how long have you been married?
This is a funny, matter of fact, like Babe always say, it's a Hallmark story.
Okay.
This is 4 years now.
Oh, wow.
2018. We were married January of 2018. So this is 4 years. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've been knowing each other. We met in 2017. So we met 6 years ago.
Okay. How did y'all meet?
So it really is a Hallmark story, and I'm gonna try to speed it up, but it's a really cute story. It's amazing how God, puts things together.
Yeah.
And I had been in prayer about a mate, but I had gotten to the point where I was concentrating on running for being to be a judge, and so I had kind of put that on the back burner. And it's funny because I had been previously been divorced 7 years at that time. So, 7 is completion. So, know.
And completely over that. Right? Hello. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, been completely over that. Yeah. But anyway, I was running for the position that I'm in now. And one of my colleagues and I, we had gone to this bus station because we were doing what it was called busing for justice to try to get to meet people, the community. So we would go to all of these different busing locations around Harris County because, of course, my constituents are all of Harris County, and Harris County is huge. So the thing we were trying to do, think outside the box and go to these different busing locations so we can get to meet people. So one morning we went to this location and we were passing out our cards to just regular people. Yeah. And up comes up with this bus driver. Yeah. And so he opens the door, whatever. And I walk in the bus and I said, hey, we're running for a judge, please consider voting for us. And so it was him. And so And so when I got off the bus, I told, and I'll tell you, it's Judge Ursula Hall.
Okay.
And I said, she said, oh, girl, he was nice looking. I said, you know what? He was handsome, right? So that was the end of it. I never thought I would ever see this man again. I'm like, what's the coincidence of ever running? I mean, I went on about my business because again, I'm focusing on
being a judge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
so segue until
this was like, and I take that back, it was 2016 when this happened. So it was like October 2016. Yeah. And then fast forward to November, I think it was like the day before, the weekend before the election. Yeah. I think it was a Thursday or Friday. And what she didn't know at the time is I was in law school.
Okay.
So I worked at Metro. I drove the Metro bus while I was in law school. So I'm waiting on my bar results. And one of our professors Dean Douglas.
Dean Douglas. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, Dean Douglas. I love that man. Great man.
Mm-hmm.
He has this event at his home every year for recent bar passers and elected officials. So I show up to the event and it's dark in the room where we at, and I'm standing there and he's talking with the mic and he's talking about the elected officials that are in the room. You know, he just congratulated all the recent bar passers, which I was one of. Yeah. So now he's going around the room talking about elected officials and candidates, and the light is shining around the room, and I realized we literally standing like right next to each other. But
that is so sweet.
It's dark in the room, but
it doesn't end.
And when the light flashed on her, I'm like, oh man, that's her. So and I heard her tell the other candidate that she was with that night, like, hey, we got to go because find out they were going to another event. So I ran to the door real quick to catch her by, and I'll let you take me back.
So he tapped me on my shoulder and he was like, hey, do you remember me? And I lied. Yeah. And I said, yeah, I remember you. And he said, I'm the bus driver. And I said, the bus driver? And he said, yeah. I said, oh my God. And I said, let's take a selfie. Because, you know, I'm always taking selfies.
Oh, yeah. Did you have the selfie stick?
Okay. So I take a selfie and I didn't get his name, you know, or his number. He didn't get my name and number or whatever. And so again, I had the selfie, the picture, and I go on. I never again thought I would see this man again.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we actually win the election, and I'm at judge school, and behind my backs, my colleagues, they decide that they want to take this picture because, again, this picture, I had just been keeping this picture in my phone. And I actually had kept saying that this man was going to be my boyfriend. I didn't know what his name was. I hadn't told my family about it. I didn't even know what his name was. So anyway, so we're at school, judge school, and they decide to go behind my back and contact him and say, hey, the Judicial Love Council would like to connect you.
Come on, I love it.
Yes. And so they asked him a series of questions. They handed him off to another judge before they gave him my number. And when they finally gave him my number, he finally called me, and the rest is history. So that's how we got that.
See, that's what friends do, going behind your back in a good way. Hello, not backstabbing.
But here's the thing.
Come on now.
Tell her about your assignment that morning.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Yeah. That wasn't my route. I was a fill-in driver for the regular driver who didn't show up.
Come on.
That morning.
It was just coincidence. Yeah. I happened to be at work that morning, and hey, this person out here, go take this route. So
nothing is coincidence. It's
not.
Christ.
It's a providence.
My goodness. Yeah. And I love how you didn't look down on him because he was a bus driver. You said he was cute. Because even when he passed the bar results, you were like, okay. You know what I mean? I just love that. Yeah. That is a Hallmark story and not a Lifetime movie. I love it. You know, hey, that's, you know.
Idris got to play me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Idris was actually on my vision board for my man. You know, I had this vision board just for my man. And it's so funny because Roderick epitomizes everything that I had on that board. It's just good. Amazing. Yeah.
You do have to have a vision board. Who would play you, Ramona, in the movie?
So I like Nia Long.
Okay, I like her too.
I love her.
Okay. Yeah, I like her too. Okay. That is a Hallmark story. Yes, that is beautiful. That's the show right there. I'm glad y'all came. We can let you go. Look, ladies, don't look down on the bus driver. He was taking his bar exam.
That's right.
And even if he wasn't going to be a lawyer, right?
Right.
Don't pass up the sanitation worker. Don't pass up, because that brother he worked 2 days a week. He probably got 3 businesses too. He just there for the health insurance.
Literally.
Don't look down.
So very true.
Beautiful. Look, I love that story. Now, when you first met, I love that story. So we got to talk about submission. Mm-hmm. We have to talk about submission. It's some tainted, it's stereotypes, myths about submission. And when I see you, Judge Ramona, here you are a judge, somebody in a powerful position, and your husband, Roderick, you're a lawyer, but sometimes women, we can't turn the boss off, right? Right? So let's talk about submission. First of all, why is submission important to your marriage? I want to hear from both of you on that.
Well, to me, let me just say this, because I don't know exactly what submission means to everyone else.
Right.
But submission means to me, it's respecting my husband's point of view, number one, and then humbly sharing my opinion with him, and then not being disrespectful to him around others, and also being expressive to him, but beholding to his leadership.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know, some people have a different definition of submission, but that's my viewpoint of being submission, of being submissive, of being a submissive wife.
Yeah. You, Roderick, because husbands are to be submissive as well.
Yes, and I agree 100%. And that's what I really love about my wife. She allows me to lead when I need to lead, but she also knows how to be my perfect helpmate.
Yes.
Side by side in a lot of things. It's a lot I've learned from Ramona in these last 6-7 years. That we both were married prior to this marriage, so we came into this marriage. We had a good talk with each other about the things that we wanted, things we didn't want, and luckily we both on the same page. We knew what we wanted out of our next relationship, and that's to be something. We want to be each other's peace. When she comes home, I want to make sure she's comfortable and feels good. When I come home, she does the same for me, and I think that what makes our relationship last. We laugh and we act silly. We act like kids. We do crazy things together.
That's how sometimes we'll figure out a decision. I mean,
rock, paper, scissors.
So that's just something me and her have. So I really like our relationship. Because I'm able to express myself and be the funny person or the goofy person, and she's okay with that. Vice versa with her. She's able to express herself and be true to who she is when we're together. That's why I really love about my wife in our relationship.
Yeah.
And the thing about Ramona, she has not changed. Like, I knew her before she was a judge. Roderick, you knew her before she was a judge. She is the same sweetest, supportive person ever. Kind, just woman of God. I'm telling you, she doesn't change. She hasn't changed. My goodness, it's very rare, you guys.
That's the same way I feel about you. The same way. The same way.
Isn't God good, man?
He is. And you're right. It's so unique to meet, like you said, it's no judgment, just realness.
Yes.
That's the thing that I've always loved about you, that you're real.
Yeah.
Because we live in such a society where people are not real. They're not transparent. It's the social media. Everybody wants to put on this whole facade, and it's just unnecessary.
It's exhausting too.
It is. It's exhausting.
You got to live up to something that you're really not.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that in marriage. The images on social media.
Oh God.
Yeah. We vacation together, couples goals. We have matching Mercedes. That's marriage goals.
Oh yeah. You know what? Thing that was so funny to me, I was watching Michelle Obama's, and I mentioned this to Roderick. She had an interview on her last book tour, and she mentioned to the audience, she was like, you know what? She says she talked about marriage, and she talked about basically transparency and realness, and she was like, Barack and I, we have arguments as well, right? We have issues as well. But she was like, for example, she says, people go on social media and say, oh, couple goals. She's like, we had a picture. Oh, Barack and I had a picture, and everybody's like, couple goals. She was like, actually, in that picture, I was mad at him. You know what I mean? And she was like, but people like couple goals, and it's like, hey, we're just regular people, and that's the thing that I love about Roderick and my husband is that, when you talk about a woman or someone who is in any position, any job that you're in, whether it's being a teacher, radio show host, whatever it is that your ministry is that God has called you, there will be times where you have valleys, mountains, what have you, right? And, he's always my safe haven. When I sit here and there are days when I cry, or, I feel like the world is just caving in on me. He's always there to encourage me and to lift me up. And he's been such a strength for me And I would say even lately, because I've been dealing with some things lately, and he's always been, so strong for me. And, I think one of the things that he talks about as a man is that a woman, no matter what you do, you want to be held, you want to be loved, you want to be comforted. It doesn't matter what you do. At the end of the day, those for a woman. Yeah.
And I like peace. I mean, right? And Roderick too. Here he has a demanding career as well. Being an attorney as well, a prosecutor. And here you are, but you have to be there for Roderick. Roderick has goals too. It's not just, Ramona, I'm trying to be a judge and Roderick's standing behind me passing out flyers. No, you have to support him as well. And Roderick, this is what I want to ask you. See, because I've heard women, and tell me what you think about this, career women, and I was one of them a few years ago, but when I was in my ignorance and spiritually immature, right? You can't get a man because your career, you have a career, you have an education. It's not our education.
No.
Yeah. Are men intimidated by a woman with a good career who makes her own money? Talk about it, Roderick. Set the record straight.
And I don't all men, but I do agree that some men may be intimidated by a woman in a powerful position. But like Ramona said, like I understand, a woman is a woman is a woman, no matter what she does. They all want the same thing. They want to be respected, loved, cared for, treated right, protected. So it doesn't matter what this woman does, she's still a woman, And if you are confident enough as a man in who you are, it shouldn't matter what she does. No, my wife is a judge. That's a powerful position, and it probably could be intimidating for people. But me as a man, I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in myself to step back and let her be who she is and support her in all that she does. I'm out here on the campaign trail just as much as she is, making sure that she's taken care of and doing what I need to do to make sure I'm being her support system and make sure we can win this re-election that she's getting ready to face. So I'm confident and I'm proud of her, and I'm not intimidated by the fact that she's a judge or anything like that.
That's beautiful.
Vice versa for him. I was there for him when he was running for judge. And we'll be with him when he runs for judge again. So that's the one thing that I absolutely love, that I think I didn't have that with my other marriage. And it's not to down the other person.
That's right.
It's not about that. It's you learning from your past, right? You're learning. Hey, sis.
Yes, Denise is wonderful.
Yes, love her. We learn from our past so that we would not make the same mistakes that we made in our past marriages.
That's right.
We took whatever we did wrong and made sure that we didn't bring in the same issues.
And that's a good point, because as people, not man or woman, we have to sometimes come to some hard realizations that some of the things we may have been the cause of that.
It's time for self-assessment.
Literally,
we got to stop playing the victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the things we may have caused, but you live and you learn and you grow from it.
That's right.
And I think that my past relationship, I'm never going to speak ill of my ex-wife, but that just taught me how to be a better man for the next person. I learned that a lot of things I didn't do right, I could have done better, I could have done different. And also, so when I meet this next woman in my life, I'm going to make sure that I'm that person that I thought coulda, woulda, shoulda did. Then I'm going to be that and move forward in a different way in this relationship to make sure it lasts and that she continues to know that I respect and love her.
Yeah. Hey, Denise, she said, hey, my beautiful family. Are you all family, really?
We're family through Christ. And
okay, me too. Good.
Yeah. I love her. She's my sister.
Isn't she wonderful?
She is amazing. And she's such a woman of God, and she has an amazing testimony.
Oh, she's been on the show too.
Yeah,
Denise is the real deal.
She is amazing, and her testimony is just awe-inspiring. How God has just moved,
come on,
and continues to keep moving through her and speaking through her and allowing her to be used as a vessel.
Come on, y'all,
amazing.
Yeah, and see, good people know good people.
Yes,
because she said, oh, that's my sis, that's my. good people know good people.
Yes, and we celebrate each other. There's no competition. There's no envy. We celebrate one another. We love the fact that we're winning. When she's winning, when you're winning, it's a beautiful thing because we're all part of God's kingdom, and He's using and allowing our gifts that He's given us to be used for the kingdom. So I don't know why people want to be in a competitive spirit.
Oh,
and there are some marriages that people compete.
And we got to talk about that too. Competition in marriage. And let me read Denise's comment. And I want to know what y'all have to say about this. She said, this is really good, my brother. She says, because I have had to learn that from now being divorced. Yeah. What do y'all want to say to that? Thank you, Denise.
No, it is so true. You know, all of our, like I tell our daughters that whatever you went through in life, don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a lesson.
Yes,
No matter what that experience may have been, look at it as a lesson. You got through it, and you got through it for a reason. And like I always try to tell young people when I talk to them, that it's a lot of things in my past that I wish I could change and wish I'd have done better. But I use those experiences to talk to them now, to explain to them, don't go out here and bump your head and make these same mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of 10. So I told my younger sisters and brothers the same thing. You know, when they was coming up, I had graduated high school and joined the Army, so they was all behind me. So I'm telling them, all that stuff Dad used to tell us is true.
It is.
All that stuff. I stayed on about it, and they said everything they listened, but I used to stay on about that. Everything that Dad told us is true.
It is.
And I remember his main thing was, I made all the mistakes that this family needs to make. So I'm letting you guys know, so you don't have to come down the pipe and make these same mistakes. So it's all a lesson in life, you know, and take that lesson, whether it was a negative lesson or a good lesson or whatever it may be, because you're going to be able to bless somebody down the road with your experience.
Yeah. Divorced but not damaged. You know, love is possible again. Love is possible again. And I tell you, and this is the thing I learned. I'm a single, so I love talking to married couples. Pay attention, people. Let's pay attention, ladies. Because I work a lot. Y'all know I work a lot. But I think when I'm married, I can't be working like this. What kind of husband? He gonna be like, Dawn, it's 3 a.m. What you gotta cut that off. You see what I'm saying? Right. So we have to prepare ourselves for marriage. But Roderick, this is something you talked about, competition. See, you're not intimidated by Ramona's career, but what can happen sometimes is when you throw your money up in his face. Or when you throw your position up in your husband's face, that can become a problem. Or when you put the career, because it's divine order is God, family, career. Sometimes we get it twisted. I'm excited you got your doctorate, sister, but you got a husband. You're a wife first, right? Sometimes we get things out of order. Don't y'all think?
And see, I think that's one of the things that I mentioned about submission. We don't do that. Submission it means not invalidating your spouse.
That's right.
Especially in front of others, or even amongst each other.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, what we do is not who we are, right?
That's right.
You know, our position really is just that. It's a ministry. It's a ministry.
That's it.
It's nothing more than just a ministry.
Come on.
And so that when we come home to each other, it's about our marriage. It's about us. It's about our relationship. It's not about what we do for a living. It's about us.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't really matter.
And one thing I like about our relationship, we in the same field. So it's not like we had to bring our job home and, well, what did you do today? What did you do today? We understand what we did, what we went through on a daily basis. Now, I may ask how your day went. She may ask me how my day went. But we don't have to go into too in-depth in detail and spend a lot of time talking about our job, because she knows what I do and I know what she does. So we can kind of spend 5 or 10 minutes, get that out the way and put it on the back burner. Now let's be Roderick and Ramona.
Yeah. Get that out of the way. I love that. Yeah. How was your day? You know, you saw me in the hallway. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now, you saw me in the hallway today. You saw that. Man, I'm telling you. Now, y'all, this is a question, though, I have for y'all. You know, let's talk about consequences. There are consequences that come when you are not submissive, when you put your career before your spouse, when you don't, when you bring baggage, the past, you haven't healed. All of that can happen, and all of that can go on in a marriage. So how do you all, we know you put God first, but how can you say submission has benefited your marriage?
I think it has helped keep the peace in the house. We both understand that we adults. We talk about what we expect and want from each other. So it shouldn't be any disagreement or any strife down the road, because we done already laid out the expectations from each other.
That's good.
I know what she expects from me, and I try to make sure I do those things. And I expect certain stuff from her that she tries to do and does. So we just try to keep it like that, And one thing Ramona has taught me is how to talk through issues and be a better communicator. That's one thing I learned from her. She's very good at communicating. I wasn't so much, but these last 6-7 years, she's taught me how to open up and speak and understand that communication is what's going to keep our relationship moving forward.
That's right. That's right. Roderick, have you ever been made to feel invisible? Other people, because it's unintentional, right? Like we were talking, carrying on. But when Ramona walks in a room and we know Ramona, hey, Ramona, and people say, oh, that's Judge Ramona's husband. No, instead of this is Roger, you know what I'm saying? No. Have you ever been, but see, it's Ramona's job to make sure, no, his name is Roderick. You see what I'm saying?
No. And she's great at that, And
it happens. I'm sure it happens.
No, she used to get on me about that. It wasn't people making me feel invisible. It was me
making other people feel it.
Yeah. So she's got. So I had to be more cognizant of my surroundings and my interactions with people. Which I have gotten better at.
Yes, he has.
But no, she's never made me feel that way. When it's time to shine, I know how to stand back and let her do her thing.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching her do her thing, and she does light up a room when she walks in the room, and people love Ramona. They gravitate toward her. I understand that, so I know how to stay back and let her do her when she's out doing what she needs to do to because she's a judge, and like I tell her a lot of times, no matter where she's at or what we're doing, it's almost as if she has to be campaigning. Because when she steps out in public, she's a public figure. So people expect a certain way from her. So I know how to play my position and show her some support.
But don't you think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and I said he's very supportive and I'm very supportive of him. And that to me, that is so key, that we're so supportive of one another. I mean,
y'all are.
It's just, I'm so grateful to God that I have a mate that is so supportive.
Yes.
He's so supportive, and vice versa.
Yes. Yeah. My goodness. Let's talk about this. Denise's comment, she said, that is good because effective communication is an absolute must in a marriage and in a relationship in general. Talk about communication. Some couples just don't communicate. What keeps couples from communicating? What can keep them from communicating, in your opinion, your experience?
I think is I'm not gonna say intimidation, but you have some people who may just like me I'm gonna give you my perspective. I just held in, I wasn't one to express my feelings. So some people just may be that way, and that's what Ramona has helped me get out of that shell that I was in. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a couple of years ago, I probably wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk with you like this. And then being a new attorney also has helped me work on that, because now I have to speak in front of people. I have to speak. Had to speak openly in court. So that has helped me work on my communication also, and got me out of that shell and got me more. I'm okay with speaking now. It doesn't really bother me. It used to bother. I used to get nervous, like I got to speak. But now I'm not like that. So I owe that to Ramona, and she's encouraged me in all that I've done since we've been together. Without her, I don't think I would be in the position that I am. Even though I did pass the bar, became an attorney, but it took her, who didn't mind giving me some guidance, because she's been an attorney a lot longer than I have. So it took her didn't mind giving me guidance and inspiration and words of wisdom and how to handle this job. and how to handle these defense attorneys. Not saying all of them bad, some of them are great. And just how to deal with people in the courtroom and in that setting.
Yeah.
She's been great at giving me advice on that.
Yeah. Two things. First, let's touch on expectations. You all said it. What are your expectations? That's what you need to communicate in the dating, first of all.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And we don't do that. We're asking, what's your 5-year plan and all this kind of stuff, which is nice. But submission, or do you believe in submission? If she starts wilding out, right, Roderick? Or he start, we don't, you need to communicate date one. Over the phone before date one. And then you're married and you no premarital counseling, no maturity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how relationship started. We talked on the phone for a couple of weeks before we actually met in person. You know?
Right.
So I think that was a great start. We really got to know each other before actually going to lunch.
Yeah.
So I think that was a great start for us to just kind of figure each other out, talk about life. I was coming out of a marriage where I did have kids. So we talked about kids and my kids and things like that,
That's right.
And the good thing is my kids were older. So it wasn't like she was having to come in and babysit anybody, and like I tell her, once they met her, they were like, Dad, you should have been met her, do that, go live your life, because they love them some Miss Ramona. So,
out of the mouth of babes. We love mom, but you come on, y'all. I mean, seriously. But even if you need to communicate if they were young. If you don't like kids, ladies.
Oh yeah.
You need to say, I really, this is not a situation where, I learn to love them. No, if you don't like kids, you need to be honest, because it's best he get you, just not for him. We need to, you got to be honest about things.
Yeah, people just need to be honest and be real and be transparent.
That's right.
It's like the games. It's like, stop with the games. And I think that's one of the things that he and I talked about. It was just being real. We was just being real. I mean, and I've always remember my dad always telling me, first of all, that women, I mean, he's always said this, and they've been married, I think
53 or 4 years.
Yeah, 54 years. But he always would tell us is that when women talk about 20 times to a man, right? So most times we're gonna out talk the man. That's just general. But what he always communicated to me and my mom is that, and things that I've learned in the past relationships where it went wrong, was the lack of communication, and what's key is how you communicate.
That's right.
How you communicate. Because I would just say this, and I know people think, oh, I'm lying and all this kind of stuff, but we don't argue. We really don't argue. What we have is we communicate and we have discussions. We never yell at each other. Now, in my past, yes. And that's what I learned. When you are at this point in your life where he and I, we one of our things is we want to enjoy, like the word says, we want our latter days to be better than our former days, right? And so at this point, we want to enjoy life. It doesn't make sense for us to argue and carry on. Let's try to figure this thing out together. Let's talk sensibly with one another, have a discussion. Nobody needs to have their voices raised. It's a discussion.
Rock, paper, scissors.
That's it. Because really at this point, really there isn't anything, that we really should be arguing about. But when you're dealing with somebody who's mature,
that's right,
and they want their marriage to work,
come on now,
that's what makes a difference. When you have people who are willing to put aside their ego,
yes,
and their pride, then that's what works. And that's the thing I love about this man is that he and I both, we don't come in with our ego. We don't come in with our pride.
That's right.
We both come in, hey, what do we need to do in order to come to a decision And where's peace? We just want peace. We just want to have fun. We just want to enjoy our lives.
That's right.
We're not trying to stress out.
Yeah.
You know what? The only people who would think you're lying are people who fight and throwing dishes at each other every day.
Right.
You know, that ain't normal, y'all. Okay? That's a Tyler Perry movie. That's not real. If you living like that, it's time to come on.
Yeah. It's time.
But if that's what they grew up in,
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're talking. I mean, seriously. Oh, they lying. Ain't nobody that happy. Yeah, there are married couples who are that happy.
It's real. It is real. It is real. Yeah.
And the other thing I like, and Roderick, I want you to touch on this. You talked about, and I love when I have conversation and the conversation leads to other conversations. I just love this because this wasn't even like what I was going to discuss. But Roderick, you said it. You said Ramona supports you, but you have to pay attention to what your partner is doing and what gifts they have. And it's up to you to nurture that as well and to help. Like, you don't want to see your partner not doing their best. You said she encourages me to do more of this. Doesn't that make a difference, man?
You just don't know.
Yeah.
The conversations we have had about being in this position now where we're at in life. You know, like for example, I was telling my dad not too long ago, I like, man, I wish I'd have met Ramona 20 years ago. And my dad, he told me, he says, listen, son, you wasn't ready for her 20 years ago.
Come on now.
Put you in a position to meet her now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it makes a world of difference when you got someone supporting you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Encouraging you. No negativity at home. Just
that's right.
I can't wait. Like I tell when I leave work, I call and let her know, babe, I'm on my way to you. And that's because I can't wait to get home to see my wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a good feeling. Because that's a great feeling. When you ready to come home, you excited to come home. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not dreading coming home. I've been there.
Both of us been there.
Yeah, I've been there when I'm like, okay.
Oh man.
I'm so excited to come home. It's like I literally feel like I have a sleepover with my best friend, my boyfriend.
Aww.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's beautiful. Let's read this comment. It really is beautiful. I just love that. Peace.
Yeah.
And let me tell y'all, I'm single, right? And then I want to read Denise's comment. I have so much peace. I'm like a man of any man who comes into my space. You gotta bring me peace. Just like a man wants peace, I want peace.
Yeah.
Because I have peace. I'm just like, I don't want anyone disturbing that. So I'm not desperate up in this thing. God, when you bring him, and am I ready? You see what I'm saying? So Roderick, I like what you said. We want this, but Dawn, are you ready for marriage? There's some things God's working on me in. Come on, y'all. Let's be real about it. Denise says the best way to have a good marital discussion is to evaluate yourself.
Yes.
When in the discussion and not go into doing the blame game.
That is so true.
Talk about that.
Put the egos aside.
Yes.
Hey, Dr. Lisa.
Hey, Dr. Lisa.
Put the egos aside.
Put it aside.
Put the aside and be mature.
Yeah.
You have to be mature.
Yeah.
And that's what's important, being mature and putting your egos aside.
But I think before you get married, maturity also, Ramona, but you have to know who and whose you are.
That's true.
And you can't be desperate and all of this stuff can come into play. And I'm a judge, so I better be married. It's going to be good for the career and all that foolishness that happens. No. Are you mature, man? Are you mature?
And it took for me I had to really learn how to stop hearing and start listening. And that brought me a long way as far as making sure that when Ramona's communicating something to me that I pay attention to it. Listen to make sure I can make corrections, to not make sure I don't go down that same road whatever it may be. I'm communicating now to letting and react instead of just hearing her and brushing it off.
Come on now.
Then we talked about this weeks ago. So I don't want to be that person where you got to keep telling me something over and over. I'm listening now to make sure that I'm doing what my wife needs me to be doing for her.
Yeah. Roderick, Dr. Alyssa says, I feel the same way, Dawn Paul. She said it's going to take the right one to not disturb this peace I have right now. She said it took too long to get there. Roderick, but you said it, Roderick. Who cares? Lesson learned, moving forward. Right? We move forward. Y'all, I got so much peace. I can take it up. I should take it, put it in a bottle and sell it to every single woman, and I'd be a billionaire. If y'all had the kind of peace, you're not desperate.
Yes.
When you're not so God, whenever you bring him, I'm good. I can go to a wedding. I'm not all salty and when is it my turn? No, I ain't worried about all that.
Yeah.
And then also Alyssa says when a man says pay attention. Roderick, what do you want to say to that? You brought it up, Roderick. Yeah.
What I mean, me paying attention. You know, basically paying attention to her. I most definitely agree that we as men, we should stop trying to compete with our wives and think they are competing with us, and start listening when they speak and try to make sure we're doing what's expected. You know, as a man, there's a lot of things that are put on our shoulders, and I would say one of the things that me as a man had to stop doing is outside influences and trying to compete and live my life the way someone else wanted me to live my life. Living for myself. And once you make those changes, once I made those changes, I noticed my life kind of started getting in order. Ramona invited me to church, and it's been a spiritual growing situation for me since that point. So I'm still growing in my spiritual journey. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be.
Praise God. That's
I'm feeling good in life. I'm happy. I'm excited. I look forward to every day. Look forward to every day with my wife. I look forward to every day with our grandkids. Now we got grandbabies.
Yeah,
so that's sweet.
We're enjoying life. You know, it's nothing that I want or need.
Yeah.
You know, I got everything that I need and everything that I want here at home. You know, I'm in a good position.
Yeah.
Amen. Denise, seriously, Denise says listening is key.
Yeah.
And Alyssa says having peace replaced desperation.
Yes.
And we got to talk about this as we wrap this up. Roderick, you're just giving me talking points on talking points. Forget you, Ramona. Roderick, you can fill in for me. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's talk about outside influences, people.
You can do it.
Some of y'all are allowing people and those listening online through the app, maybe watching StreamYard or you catch the replay. Some people are in your ear telling you things about your marriage. Let's talk about it. First, you, Ramona, and then you, Roderick.
Don't do it. Don't do it. In fact, I always tell people, keep your what happens in your marriage, keep it to yourself and your mate. Because when you start getting family and friends and other people involved, especially if they're not spiritually grounded and
come on now,
you can get the wrong advice and somebody will tell you, girl, just leave them. Or, man, I wouldn't deal with that. She run her mouth too much. How you deal with that? You know, it's just too much. It's too much. And nobody is in your relationship but the two of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So nobody knows what the discussions that you all have but the two of you. So it's always best to keep people out of your marriage. And we do that. We are very like serious about that.
Well, it's respect
our peace and what we have going on between us. We don't, if we have a discussion, we don't discuss anything in front of people.
That's right.
And that's just it. We just don't do that.
Let me read these comments, and then Roderick, I want to hear from you on that as a man. She says, I watch my favorite judge wait for you, Roderick, because when she was single, her journey on waiting for the right one inspired me.
Did you try again?
Yeah.
Who
knows? Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we're fine.
We lost the
sound for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good though, right? Yeah. Alyssa says she basically was inspired by you, waiting on the right one. Right now, she's encouraging others through her testimony. Right, moving forward, healing. Denise says for sure, keep people out your business. Yeah. You can't say it much better than that. No. Roderick, talk about the outside influences. Keep them out.
I agree with Ramona the statement she just made. You know, I've never been the person that even before this, I've never been a person that needed to put all my business out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
I'm not the social media person. Got to put everything on social media for everybody to see. That's not me.
Yeah.
I've always been a more reserved person, so I don't feel like I have to. Everybody needs to be in my business, and I try to instill that in my daughters too. Your business ain't show business.
Okay.
Come on now.
I love it.
I do that. I keep that in our relationship. I don't. Me and Ramona may have an issue. That's between me and Ramona.
Yeah.
I don't go to work and talk about it. I don't call my mom and dad and talk about it. You know, that's something me and her got to work out, and we'll work that out. So that's one thing I've learned. Just it's something I've never done. So it really never been something I wanted to do or discuss my marital life with anybody and things like that. I've never done it anyway.
Yeah.
And people, we are not talking about domestic violence. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. You and your husband have an argument that morning, and you get on the phone with Aunt Riri.
Yeah.
Aunt Riri tells Aunt JJ, Roderick done hit a girl. He done knocked her upside the head. He ain't doing right, and he cheated. Then by the time you get to the family reunion, they come in at Roderick with a knife. You know what I mean? Because the whole story, right?
Right.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Together, right. And everybody else mad, but y'all still together.
And then Ramona don't forgot she even told you that. See, that's why you got to watch that. You know, Alyssa says one of the mistakes she made was keep putting people in her business.
Yeah.
Ladies, watch all that. And I'm going to say this, and then we're going to wrap this up. I want to hear from you all on a question I have. Ladies, you better watch it because they telling you he's not right. And then next thing you know, you look up and their new relationship status is with your old boo. the man they told you to break up with is they new boo.
Yeah.
In a relationship, and they new boo is your old boo. Come on, y'all. I'm just saying, be careful, y'all, in these streets. I want to know what y'all hear about that. She said, one major nugget I've learned from the ABCs of marriage is that she will practice if God sends her someone. She's the wife. Christ is at the center.
Yeah.
Christ is at the center. Talk about Christ being at the center. We got to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is no us without him in the relationship, in marriage. There is no us. We wouldn't be able to have effective communication. We wouldn't be able to put aside our ego and our pride without Christ.
Yes.
Because of that, that's Christ being involved in the marriage. He is the third string that keeps us. Because as human beings, you know, normally when you have an issue, it's all about, I'm ready to, if you're having a discussion, you know, I'm really not listening to what the other person's saying. I'm ready to get out what I want.
Yeah.
And that's what is so important to me, that what we're able to do is that it's really not about trying to get out what we want. It's about how can we come to a resolution together.
That's right.
And to me, that's simply when God has stripped you from your pride and your ego, because that's what comes into play a lot of times and causes a lot of problems, is pride and ego. And when you have Christ in your marriage, that's stripped, right? And then that's why, as a woman, I can submit to this man.
That's right.
Because I know that he's not being prideful and he's not trying to hate. You know what I mean? He's being a leader and he thinks of my needs.
That's right.
Actually, before his own needs.
Come on now.
So he probably has to put away more ego and pride than I do.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm sure he's had to take the high road a lot of times. And I know that.
Yeah.
And he does that, right? But that's what a man is supposed to do when you're a good husband and you know that you're a leader. A good leader is not always about I'm winning, right?
That's right.
That's
or
it.
Being right.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, one thing, I'm gonna take it a different direction, and I'm just gonna go something that like I told you, I'm the oldest of 10.
Yeah.
My youngest brother of the 10, this is something he's taught me. You know, and it's crazy to say that, but him and his wife met. Yeah, him and his wife met right before me and Ramona did. Him and his wife got married literally right before me and Ramona did. So they've been married about the same amount of time, been knowing each other about the same amount of time. But he taught me to pray for my wife, pray for my family, and I think that is what helped me keep Christ at the center.
Yes.
I pray for Ramona, and the majority of the time I'm doing my prayers when I'm on my way to work. I say a prayer for me. I say a prayer for her because I know the journey she's going to go have to deal with today in court. So I make sure I say a prayer for her. And one time she told me, you know, and it always stuck with me when she made the statement to me that when she gets on the bench, she wants people to see Christ through her.
Yes.
And I pray, and that's a prayer that I say for her every morning on my way to work.
Yes.
That when she gets on the bench, people see Christ through her, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And that's just something that my younger brother taught me, man. Pray for your wife, pray for your family. Because he was telling me that's what he does for him, his wife, and they little boy. That he, you know, I'm constantly praying for my wife and my family, you know, trying to make sure we make it and get through things that they're going through. So that's one of the things that I want to just say that I do for us. I pray for her. I pray for us. I pray for our relationship on a consistent basis.
Marriage goals.
Yeah.
Marriage goals.
And you know what, Dr. Don?
Hello.
I'm so filled. I'm literally in tears because it's just a testament to women when you're single and you've prayed about things and you've asked God for a mate. I remember praying for a man and praying for a man that was a godly man and had that vision board and I was almost really giving up.
Oh, come on, Ramona.
But just understand that don't give up. Our prayers never expire. They never expire. And to hear him say that is just, it's nothing like having a man pray for you. It's just the other day when I was crying because I was having a whole meltdown about some things that I'm going through. And he said, babe, I pray for you and you're going to have to trust God and you're going to need to let it go. You're going to need to relinquish it.
Come on.
And in that moment, I just felt such peace and such gratitude for God for giving me him at this time. And so for those who are still praying and waiting for God to bring that person to them, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Prayers, a praying man.
Yeah.
And Alyssa says, when a man prays for me, I'm gone. That's how she's serious. She said, I'm gone. Not gonna. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna know it's real.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Roderick Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then Denise says, there is nothing sexier than a praying man.
Oh, nothing.
P-R-A-Y, not P-R-E-Y.
That's it.
And then Alyssa says, don't make me cry. No, we need to cry it out.
I know.
Let's cry it out.
I'm telling you, it's just, ladies, I'm telling you, I remember the days when I was about to give up.
Come on now.
It was about to give up. And I'm reminded, because I used to always talk about Boaz. I was praying for my Boaz. Mine is him being 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
But the point of what I always remember is, like I said, when I met him, you know, it's like Naomi was in the field doing what she was supposed to do, not concentrating on a man.
That's right.
That's what I was doing at one point. I was so infatuated with, how am I going to find this man and all this kind of stuff, until when I finally just said, you know what, Lord, if it happens, it happens. But right now I'm trying to concentrate on this and I'm focusing on this. And when I began to start taking my eyes off of those things and taking my hands off of that and concentrating on the purpose and the ministry that God was birthing me, then that's when he brought me this man.
Yes.
And I had to go through, and he had to go through the things that we went through individually in our past marriages to be able to come together where we are now. Yeah.
Let me read these comments. Latasha says, keep producing great show content.
Yes. Isn't she amazing?
I will continue to produce good content, great content, and I will continue to have great people on. I'm excited. I mean, I can't talk about this myself, right? I mean, I just love that I have great guests who are willing to share and be real.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Latasha. And Alyssa says, I'm feeling like that now, and y'all know my story. She said, you're encouraging me.
Yes.
Ramona, we just cannot give up, but there are some things God is telling us single people that we need to work on.
Yes.
Let's pay attention. So when he does bring him, we ready.
That's
right?
It.
And then also when you are walking in your purpose, you don't have to because Roderick, look, and I want you to touch on this, because let me tell you something, single ladies, this is why I'm not worried about if I'm doing too much. If you are walking in your purpose, I believe God will align you. Yeah. Right. And this is who it is. This is who the Dr. Dunn is. I work. I'm doing this. Of course, I will never put this over the husband. Right. But what I'm saying is, ladies, if you are walking in your calling, you don't have to worry about it. You will be aligned. And he will not be intimidated. If he sees it and he's insecure, he's not for you. If he sees it and he's turned on by it, then that's the right. I love it. You were running for judge, walking in your calling, and you met Roderick.
Yeah. And
you saw you in your purpose.
And you won't have to choose.
Come on.
He will support you in that. Or she will support him in that. You shouldn't have to choose, because God is who you're in the image of how God made you.
That's good.
And you're, like you said, you're walking in your purpose. So you need that other person to be aligned with your purpose, and not and then just being who you are. I remember before I met Roderick, there was this guy that I was talking to, and you know, it's so funny because you have all of these different frogs that come, and you're like, why can't I find somebody? What's the problem? Well, I mean, am I ugly? What's going on? And that's what I had started asking myself, like, dog, you know, I know I'm an attractive woman. Yeah. What is it? But I didn't know that I was being set apart.
Come on now.
And see, I'm thinking something's wrong with me. Like, you know, I got my girlfriends, guys just floundering all over them. And I'm like, but nobody's trying to talk to me. So I'm starting to feel insecure. But no, he was setting me apart for the man that he had for me. But he would leave me indicators. When one guy would say, well, why you laugh like that? Look, this is my laugh.
Oh,
and then I started questioning, well, my God, can I tailor my laugh? You know, and I remember my mom saying to me, Ramona, God will send you somebody who will love you.
That's right.
Just for you and who you are. Your laugh and everything about you. They're going to love you. You're not going to feel intimidated. You want to feel like you got to change something.
That's right.
To love you. He's going to love you, and she's going to love him the way that they are.
Don't feel like you have to walk around on eggshells and tiptoe around and kind of change who I am and modify my things and things like that. So I be Roderick when I'm with Ramona. Don't have to hide anything. I can open up and just be me.
Yeah.
That's right. Let me read this final comment, and then Roderick and Ramona, we have to let you go because they are busy people working in the justice system, and we don't want them half asleep making decisions. See, I don't need to encounter foolishness because they're gonna let somebody go because they should have locked up. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. Alyssa says this whole conversation is blessing me. My purpose is loud. Men have tried to diminish me. I just love the comments we're getting. You all, I tell you, Roderick and Ramona, as we end this, give me your favorite scripture verse in marriage.
Mine is, we don't
really have what I did today though, because I knew that was I'll talk to my accent. I went and looked one up.
Okay.
I think it embodies Ramona. And it's let me see what it is. It's James 1:3. It says, because you know the testing of your faith, it produces perseverance. So she's been going through some things these last few weeks that has really tested her faith. And like I keep telling her, the devil is busy because you got a blessing coming. So I embody her in this moment in time and the things that she's been going through.
Yeah. Ramona, I think that's it, right?
That is
it. The devil is busy, but that's why we got to be busier in prayer.
That is so.
As a kingdom couple.
God, yes. So very true.
What are you doing, y'all? You got to pray over your spouse.
That's it. That's it.
The enemy knows how powerful a kingdom marriage is, and we see how he is. Kingdom couples are getting a divorce left and right. Y'all been married for 20 years. What is going on here?
Right.
All this foolishness. The enemy is coming after marriages. He is coming after families. You better stay in prayer. The single ladies, you better be single until God brings you the right one, so you don't have to deal with no foolishness.
That's it.
But that's another topic for another time. Roderick has to go. Ramona has to go. Because y'all are amazing. I want to say God bless you. Y'all are awesome. Roderick, so glad we could have you.
We love you.
We love you. I love you both. Y'all are amazing. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you have going on you want to talk about?
We just want to say thank you.
Thank you
for the opportunity. And we absolutely just are grateful to God for even allowing us to have this opportunity to share our testimony.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm thanking y'all.
And I'm hoping we bless someone out there.
You did.
Let you know, just keep waiting, keep trusting in God. You know that person's coming.
Yeah. I believe it.
Sometimes you have to get out your own way. That's what I had to do. I had to get out my own way. And once I did that, I ended up on that bus pulling up the Kingsland parking lot, and she stepped on.
So it really was a Hallmark story, how y'all met. Like I said, and again, it was a Hallmark story. Some of y'all got a Lifetime movie going on. That ain't how. Okay, enough of that foolishness. We need more Hallmark stories. Holy Spirit and Hallmark in the name of Jesus. God bless you, Roderick. God bless you, Ramona.
You all
bless you both.
We love you all.
Thank you. God bless you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Good night. Yeah, I'm telling you.